finally, we are in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City, and I've docked in here and we're gonna do some used PC parts hunting before we get on with the Galax Overclock event. So stay tuned for that, it's gonna be crazy. But we are in the magical city and a lot has happened since I've just first docked in here a day ago, and I'll probably make a dedicated video towards that. But if you guys are looking for used PC parts hunts here, I've already sort of started sussing things out. Spock, that app on your smartphone, absolute bust. Also Letgo, absolute bust. But Facebook Marketplace, now we're talking. We're gonna line up some deals, but before we've lined up those deals, which I've already got a GTX 750 Ti and apparently I've already got a GTX 1060 as well, we'll talk about those prices later, we're gonna go check out some used computer stores in Ho Chi Minh City here with my driver and translator, Daisy. So let's get it on. Do you constantly find yourself strapped for time, in a rush to do things, and sometimes you might forget your passwords? Well, if you're that kind of person, then today's video sponsor, LastPass, has an extension that you can install on any popular browser on a wider range of OSs ranging from Windows to Mac OS to Linux, which essentially acts as a friend that you have one master account for, where you can put those details in and then it'll remember all those passwords for all those sites that you may visit but you don't really frequently visit them, and you may often find yourself forgetting passwords for it. I use this on my travel PC, my personal PC, and it just saves so much time, especially for the sites that I just don't really care for. And it's also free to use for individual use, so what are you waiting for? Check out the link in the description below. Let's get back to the hustle. So we're now outside the first tech store. This place is called Phong Vu, and I've been recommended this from Google. So let's just go in and check it out and see what they've got. So we just got out of that place, ended up being a complete bust both through and through. New parts were overpriced, and also the used parts in regards to some used cases that were there, even then they were still pretty overpriced. I mean, some of them you could get for like 15 Aussie dollars, but again, we've picked up better deals in the past, and honestly when it comes to cases, we're not gonna have any room in the suitcase to fit these things in. So we're just gonna keep touring around this district because there does look like there is a lot of computer stores. I'm just gonna ask if they've got any used parts that are for sale, and if they do, we're gonna see if we can strike a deal. So we had to interrupt the shopping because right here on the desk, I have the first deal. So we have completely broken the spell of a drought in Vietnam, and we got this for 2 million dong, which would be about 115 Aussie dollars or something like that, somewhere along the lines of 85 USD. So it's actually a BioStar GTX 1060 3GB. Now, I didn't know BioStar sold 1060s, but again, 1060s are 1060. I'm not gonna discriminate, and that is one deal in the bag. So Vietnam used PC parts scene is looking good already, because we got this deal on our Facebook Marketplace, and also the guy delivered it to us as well. So delivery right to us, bang, amazing deal. Let's keep shopping. So we're now back at the same spot that we were at before with the Phong Vu, except we went looking around now another street where there's just a lot of different PC part places, but there seems to be a trend going on here where there's a lot of Xeons, old Xeon systems for sale. And so there's kind of like those hustler specials where they'll get the old Z280s and put a Xeon in there, registered memory, and then also besides that, they'll put a graphics card in and you got yourself a gaming PC. But when we saw the prices of the new parts, they were really expensive. And some of the stores here, for example, want around 750 US dollars for a GTX 1080. And it's like, well, that's a used 1080. It's not really a good deal at all. But we just walked out of this store here. It's called Truong Jiang. And I walked inside, I'm just like, because I'm going around all these places, I'm just like, you used PC parts, cash, straight up, bang on the table. And they had a GTX 750 Ti and they wanted $900,000 for it. I'm like, well, how about we just do a little bit of bargaining here? He said 1 month warranty. I said, well, I'm flying back. No 1 month warranty, $800,000. Put the cash on the table. We'll actually kind of put it down with authority. And he was like, yep, okay, we got a deal. So there's a 750 Ti in the bag, which is about 47 Aussie dollars. In US dollars, it'd be close to like 30 something, 33 USD maybe. Very good price for a 750 Ti. So now we're gonna continue around this street here and see if we can find any more deals. And yes, I am embracing the Vietnamese culture with this hat right here. I got it for about $2, I think. So we have just been up and down the last couple of hours around the streets of Ho Chi Minh City trying to get those deals. I've been completely sweating my butt off. So if you could just hit that like button for us, that'd be greatly appreciated. But besides that, what we came into after the 750 Ti was essentially nothing so far. It's been a complete bust where I've been writing down with a pen and paper. If they didn't speak English, I was writing down like i7 2600, 3770, GTX 7 series, 9 series, 10 series, motherboards, you name it, I was trying to get deals on it. And so if they, basically the deal of hustling is, if they're talking around your ballpark figure, then you keep talking. But if they don't, then you just walk. It's a pretty simple thing. And basically with the i7, even like an i7 2600, they were trying to ask like 4 million dong for that. And I just laughed. I said, what? That's like 220 Aussie dollars for a i7 2600. And I told them, look, I got a Ryzen 5 2600 for cheaper than that, brand new in the box. And they were like, oh, okay, I guess this guy knows what's up now. We're trying to rip him off. So I'm not sure if that's just because I'm a foreigner in Vietnam. They're just trying to jack the price up. But also another thing as well was they wanted like even some stores, 1050 Ti's, they wanted about 220 US dollars for that. I sort of said, okay, is that brand new or used? I think they said it was new, but the box looked like it was pre-opened as well. And it seemed to be every store I went around here had a GTX 1050 Ti Cerebrus. So this kind of reminded me of Thailand when they had all those motherboards that were Zeus, the B360s, I think, and it was all pre-NDA. So maybe that stuff's coming off the back of a truck, who knows? But another thing too, my translator, she speaks a little bit of English, but she doesn't really know PC parts at all. So when I'm talking to her about PC parts, she's just scratching her head. But essentially what we're gonna do now is we're going to head over now about 8 kilometers out away from here on the bike. We're gonna go from what Google says is a used computer store, and it's got 5-star reviews. So we're gonna go check that out. And then later on in the night, hopefully pick up some more deals off Facebook Marketplace. So let's get moving. So now we've rocked up at the destination for this buying and selling used computer parts, except there's just actually one big problem. That is, the store doesn't even exist. And so I'm looking for this place, and the neighbors are telling my translator like, yo, this place doesn't even exist here. I don't know why you're here. And I was like, okay. So at that time I'm thinking, well, why don't we just try another computer store in the area? So I went to another place, and again, there was just no physical store that exists. So I'm gonna try go to another place close by. So we'll try one more store. And if that doesn't exist, then we're just gonna go back into District 1 because this is kind of, everyone's just looking at me around here like, yo, like, why are you even in this area? So, who knows? So we're now at the last place, PC World Old. That was a complete bust, waste of time. They had just, I guess, real old LGA 775 stuff there. So basically, just gonna go back now to the city, kick around until this next Facebook deal comes along from the marketplace. And then after that, we'll tally up what we got in Vietnam. I guess some of these places outside of the city they fix up real sort of dinosaur old parts. And I couldn't even find the first 2 stores, and we just looked around everywhere around there. So I don't know what exactly is going on there, but we'll keep you guys updated as we keep this parts hunt live. And it's kind of, maybe I'm in a weird part of town because kind of getting an audience out here as well, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, hey, say hello. Yeah. So here we are now, just picked up the 750 Ti. So we've got 2 GTX 750 Ti's, and this time around, this one had no fan on it, but he assures me it works. He's shown me pictures of it working. I got that for 750,000 dong, which is about 43 Aussie dollars, I'd say, or yeah, so pretty much 30 USD flat. So it's a little bit cheaper than the other one, but it doesn't have a fan, which is not a problem because I do believe that I have a broken 750 Ti that I should be able to take the heatsink from that and plug it into this one. But anyway, that aside, I've got 3 awesome deals already on Gravis cards. We're going to get back to the hotel as well and sort of sum up everything because I have been on Messenger and I have been scouring the rest of the deals that are out there. And we'll talk about that as well as talking about, I guess, the meta in Vietnam if you're looking to build a PC on the cheap. So I'm back at the hotel and I've got 3 graphics cards here on the table that are just incredible deals. These are better deals than I would have got back in Oz, which is why I picked them up. And this is Vietnam. It's been a success for deals hunting. In terms of getting the other stuff like motherboards and CPUs and even memory, I still think you're better off maybe going off AliExpress, hence why I didn't, I guess, pick up any of those deals here because a lot of the parts they were trying to overcharge for them. For instance, even on Facebook Messenger, there was a guy trying to sell me a 1240 Xeon, which is a Sandy Bridge, essentially like an i7 2600, trying to sell me that for like 90 USD. I'm like, hey man, I can get this off Ali, shipped to my door for 60, and he kind of didn't respond, and I was like, okay, whatever. Also, in terms of metas in Vietnam, putting together a super budget 1080p gaming rig, we've got the 750 Ti's. You can pick them up for pretty cheap here, and then you can slam them in a i5 OEM desktop like a HP or a Dell, which I did see going for around about 2.4 million dong, which would still be under 100 USD. They were saying it had an i5 and also RAM, a hard drive, power supply, all that stuff. So if you got one of them, put a 750 Ti in, you'd have a really good budget gaming PC for under 200 US dollars. In Australian dollars, it'd be just over 200 AUD. So you definitely put yourself together something really good. And even then you could probably go get a i7 Xeon equivalent off AliExpress and you just have yourself some awesome 1080p gaming that could play all those competitive titles and still be ahead. Though in terms of new PC parts here in Vietnam, I do think it's a bit of a bust. Prices are better in Australia and also in the US. So it's not really one place to go to get new PC parts. But definitely when it comes to used PC parts, this place is cracking, and it's mainly the Facebook Marketplace, though I did find a store in the city where I did pick up a pretty solid deal. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed today's used PC parts hunt in Vietnam. If you did, then be sure to hit that like button. Also, in another video, I will be detailing all the behind the scenes hustle that's gone on here into making this vlog, as well as just Vietnam itself. It's been an absolute blast being here. I've just enjoyed it so much, and it's the craziest thing is it's just gone from absolute chaos in the first day where I even lost my suitcase, and I'll be talking about that in the next video. And it's gone from that to like just being so epic now. And that's where the translator comes in case you're wondering. You're probably like, damn Brian, you got this young, cute girl driving you around, but she was actually a lifesaver in that she helped me with a few different things. And I thought I came into this country being like, yeah, everyone speaks English, it'll be fine. But no guys, actually a lot less people speak English in this country, for example, than they would in Thailand, at least in the main city. So I actually came into some really weird stuff, and I'll detail that all in the next video. But other than that, also stay tuned because we've got the Galax OC event where we're going to be overclocking Gravis cards, RTX cards on LN2. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to make sure you guys have a really good experience with that video. And also on that note, don't forget to check out today's video sponsor, LastPass, helping remember your passwords so you never have to forget a password again. Link is in the description below. And with that, I'll catch you in another video very soon. Hope you enjoyed this one. Peace out for now. Bye.